Have you ever found yourself stuck trying to implement equals for generic types in Java? It can be quite a puzzle, right? If that's you, then you're in the right place. Today, we're diving into how to implement equals for generic types effectively. I totally understand how frustrating it can be when your code doesn't behave as expected. You're not alone in this struggle. Many developers face challenges with generics and equality checks. Here's the specific situation we're looking at. One user recently asked, "How do I implement equals for generic types?" They provided a generic container class and wanted to ensure that two instances with different type parameters are considered unequal. Sound familiar? Let's explore this together. So, what makes this tricky? Due to type erasure in Java, the generic type information is not available at runtime, which complicates equality checks. We'll break it down step by step so you can understand how to tackle this. And stick around. I've got a crucial tip at the end that will help you implement equals correctly and avoid common pitfalls. To implement equals for generic types, the user should start by adding a type token to the container class. This will help in distinguishing between different type parameters. Next, the user needs to modify the constructor to accept this type token. This will allow the equals method to access the type information at runtime. Now, the user can implement the equals method. This method should first check if the other object is an instance of container and then compare the type tokens. Finally, the user should test the implementation to ensure that instances of container with different type parameters are not considered equal. Fun fact, did you know that Java's type erasure was introduced to maintain backward compatibility with earlier versions? It's a fascinating aspect of the language, but it can lead to some tricky situations like this one. Now, let's look at the answers provided by other users. An alternative approach to implementing equals for generic types involves modifying the container class. You can add a field to store the class type of the generic parameter. This allows the equals method to compare the class types of the two container instances. With this modification, when you call equals on two container instances, it will return false if their class types differ, ensuring that different generic types are treated as unequal. Here's the crucial tip I promised. Always remember to include type checks in your equals method to avoid unexpected behavior. This simple step can save you a lot of headaches down the line. And there you have it. You've learned how to implement equals for generic types in Java. Remember, understanding generics can greatly enhance your coding skills. If you found this helpful, hit the subscribe button for more tips, and don't miss our next video on mastering Java generics.